This is Carol Kurtz Darlington, and I'm making a short video about riding, seat, and aids. So I'm riding Sky here at the walk because I've kind of reassessed her and backed up a bit to where I'm mostly only lunging her for trotting. She seems to be able to lift her back a lot better at this point, I think because of her SI joint issues. So I'm walking her only under saddle right now, and when I'm walking her now riding, I'm thinking of riding with my leg and guiding with my hand. So my leg aid is always the first place I go. I'm trying to use my leg in a light tap to get her to step under herself. All the bending she's doing is coming from her inside hind leg. So it's my leg taps. If I don't get a response, then I go to a light tap with the whip, and then right here you can see she'll step under with her inside hind leg. That's what's going to lift her back. Then I use the reins, almost as side reins, to guide the energy that's coming over her back and out the front. So when I'm thinking of any kind of a circle, even though this is a large circle, it's coming from her inside leg into the outside rein. So I'm really not using my inside rein, I'm using my leg. As you can see, I let it go slack occasionally, but I don't let the outside rein go slack. It just stays a steady weight of rein. Now I soften her jaw off and on with the inside rein because she really needs that. I also, if you see me lifting my hands up, I'm trying to lift the bit up into the corner of her mouth like a shambone would. And it looks kind of silly, but you'll see I'll get behind the motion, bringing my shoulders way back as I lift the bit into the corner of her mouth, and then I'll take my heels and just sort of pluck as far under her as I can to lift her abdominal muscles. Now I have spurs on not because I dig into her or anything. I stay very light with my leg and I don't use my spur except for plucking, and that's just because of the length of my leg. I need that help. But I try to keep my leg aid very, very light and then reinforce with the whip if I need to. See here, I'm behind the motion with my shoulder. So it's really a skill that I've had to learn to, especially for her because she was so stiff, to use my hands very independently of my seat. As her back starts to really move, I have to let my hips just go with her, keep the leg, my inside leg on the girth, and open my outside hip so that that leg is almost an open door for her so that the energy can go out into the outside rein. So my shoulders are slightly turned into the circle, but my outside hip is a little farther open than my inside leg. And that just sort of opens the door, like I said, so the energy can come from her inside hind leg and fill the sail of her outside rein. Now, whenever she comes up with her neck, it's not about the neck, it's all about her haunches, but it makes her start pulling with her chest, so I try to keep that from happening by sending her forward. As soon as I see her start to come up, you'll see I'll send her forward with my leg. I'll use my inside leg, soften the jaw, and I had to go to the whip there a little bit too because she saw the long side and wanted to just brace and go straight. And you'll see it on that spot every time. So it's the inside leg first, send her forward, and then I lift the reins a little bit into the corner of her mouth. But as she comes up, I have to widen my hands there. The timing is important so that the reins never go slack. But at the same time, I'm not holding her back by pulling too much tension on the reins. It has to be very, very fluid for her.